Sharks Nation. We are live here on the beautiful campus of Hawaii Pacific University at Aloha Tower Marketplace here at the beautiful HPU Esports Arena powered by DSE Hawaii. I'm your host, Jeff Rich, and we are a week or so out from winter break, but we have an exciting show for you today. We are going to be talking all things women's softball. We've got a couple of three student athletes and our head coach, and we'll introduce them in a moment. But before we do, let me first introduce our regulars in studio, HPU Sports Information Director, Mr. Marcus DeWall, and our in-studio producer, Mr. Paul Breck. Gentlemen, how are you doing this morning?
Happy to be here, Jeff. Always happy, and it's exciting time. We had baseball last week, and we got softball this week. I mean, what could be better before the winter break?
I totally agree. This is going to be a great show. We're having an exciting conversation. Marcus, how are you doing? How'd your week go?
Doing great. Trying to wrap up the semester, but just been having a great time on campus. Me and Paul got to have a little field trip to Stan Sheriff Center on Sunday, and so just having a great time.
Nice. You guys going anywhere, doing anything for the holiday break?
Working.
Yeah.
Amen.
HPU athletics is never off, I've heard. You guys are always rocking and rolling.
Yeah, no days off here, but actually 13 days off according to my contract. But
all right,
yeah.
You might have asked for 12 or 14. 13's kind of unlucky, and I know sports has superstitions. But Paul, are you heading back to Ithaca, the Ithaca area in beautiful central New York?
No, sir. I will be remaining here on island. We have the you got the Hoops in Hawaii Classic upcoming next week for the men's basketball team that I'll be covering for our HSRN station, and then you have the University of Hawaii, the Diamond Head Classic coming on up, and I actually have one of my friends coming out. She works at TCU as an SID. They play in the Diamond Head Classic, so I'm pretty excited about that. My family's coming out. I got a whole bunch of people. Christmas is coming to me in Hawaii this year, a little Melikilikimaka type of deal,
Plenty of presents. Who's the big powerhouse coming into the Diamond Head Classic?
It's always UH, well, no, I don't know if that's necessarily going to be the truth, but I will say that it should be a fun field. TCU is always a solid program. UH is off to a phenomenal start, and last year, if anybody caught it, there was a buzzer beater in the championship game, and the moment went viral on ESPN, Twitter, all of those things. So hopefully something similar this year. I went home last year, so it'll probably be switched up super boring this year, but hopefully the other way around.
Well, very nice. Well, we're not here to talk about UH basketball. We're here to talk about HPU softball this morning. As I mentioned, we have an exciting show. We have the head coach of HPU's women's softball team, Jarnett Lono. Jarnett, you're heading into your 7th season here as coach, and you have a nearly approaching 30-year history with HPU, starting as an undergrad back in, I think, 1995 as a business major.
I was a business major. Good morning, everybody. Aloha.
So, man, 30 years with the university, both as a student athlete and now the head coach. If my notes are correct, you brought HPU softball its first D2 national championship.
I was a part of that coaching staff, and it was a wonderful experience. Yeah.
Nice. Well, you brought 3 amazing student athletes with us today. We have Gianna Kerschbaum, Jewel Larson, and Savina Molina. Love that name. Let's get to know everybody today. So maybe we can start with Gianna. So you are a sophomore and a pitcher, outfielder, and third baseman.
Yeah.
Yes. So, well, first of all, you're from Baroda, Michigan. Is that the town? Am I pronouncing that right? Baroda.
Yeah, yes.
Where is that exactly?
Like Southwest Michigan. If I hold the mitten, it's like way down here, like
so
20 minutes from the border
UP,
of Indiana.
Right?
No.
Up there?
No.
Okay.
The LP.
The LP, the Lower Peninsula.
Yeah.
One of my favorite places in Michigan, Mackinac Island.
Oh yeah, I've been there. It's super awesome. Yeah.
Wow, for our listeners, it's like stepping back in time. There's no motorized vehicles there, and I think they had filmed it was a big white manor, a resort that I think there was a movie Somewhere in Time with Christopher Reeves, and that they film back there that's really cool. But what a great place that is. So you are out of cold, snowy Michigan and here in beautiful Hawaii. It's got to be a nice change.
Yeah, it's nice, but I'm going home today actually, and I'm excited to go back to the cold. I feel like it doesn't feel like Christmas for me unless it's cold, because I grew up in a place where it's always cold at Christmas time. So
all right, we'll check back in with you in about 30 years and see if you still like cold winters. Okay. Because I've had my share, I know. Well, welcome. Let's introduce our second student athlete, Ms. Jewel Larson. You are a junior, shortstop, catcher, third baseman, and outfielder.
I'm whatever Shorty needs me to be that season.
And you're a native of Oahu, from YPO.
Yep.
Okay, so you've lived here your whole life. You went to Pearl City High School.
Yep, 82, baby.
Yeah. So, interesting, but, so you decided to stay on island and go to college.
Yeah.
What drove that decision?
I really just wanted to be able to play in front of my family. That was the biggest thing for me.
Okay. Do they turn out in droves for your games?
Yes.
So you got a built-in cheering section all the time, Jarnett?
And it grows.
Yeah, it grows.
Well, that's nice, and it's important to have that kind of support. So let's see. You your major is, where am I seeing here? Public health.
Yep, public health.
And you plan to go on to Doctor of Physical Therapy.
Yes.
Wow, you going to stay at HPU and get that DPT?
I'm trying.
Nice. What made you choose public health?
So, funny thing about our school is we don't have a kinesiology program, and when I was going into being a doctor of physical therapy, my advisor said you can choose any major you want as long as you get the prereqs. So I went into public health, and I actually really enjoy public health.
Yeah.
So I'm getting my major in that, and then doing my prereqs for physical therapy on top of that.
Nice. It's a great profession, and boy, talk about plugging into the community and really helping to make a difference. Very rewarding career pathway. Well, let's introduce our third student athlete, Miss Savina Molina. You are a second baseman, and you are from Manteca, California.
Yep.
So what brought you to HPU?
So I transferred from Western Oregon, and my sister, actually, my younger sister, she's a freshman, she committed here before me.
Okay.
And so I thought it'd be cool to come and finish my softball career with her, my last 2 years, and play with her. And also, I mean, it's Hawaii, so can't get any better than that.
Sell.
Yeah.
Exactly. You're also a public health major.
Yep.
Okay, but you have a little bit different ultimate career path, physician assistant.
Yeah. I'm not sure what field I want to go in.
Okay.
But that's what I want to do.
So you're going to, HPU starting a PA program.
Mm-hmm.
That what you're eyeing?
Yeah, I'm trying to, or may get into it from transferring, so my credits are a little messed up. So
Okay.
I'm like kind of behind term, but...
Well, let's see, you're a junior, so you got one more year, and I think that program launches next fall, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But you have to apply a whole year or a couple months before, so I probably won't get in until a year after I graduate.
What a great choice, and that is such an emerging field. And we all know about some of the healthcare issues around the country, access to healthcare in rural areas, for example, where we don't have as much healthcare supply as the demand requires. And part of the way of solving that are programs like the PA program, nurse practitioners, healthcare professionals that can plug in and provide similar services to an MD. Those are just vital to the community.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Sure.
All right, so and I don't think we're going back to you, Gianna. You let's see. We didn't talk that much here. So you went to Lakeshore High School out in Baroda, Michigan.
Yeah.
And we talked about the cold, but tell me about your pre-vet. So you're obviously tracking towards a veterinary position.
Yes, yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
So what drove that decision? Just an animal lover?
Yeah, I wanted to be a doctor for a really long time, from the age of 3 to 7th grade, and then I was like, oh, you know what, I'm gonna be a marine biologist. Well, then I came here and I started my marine biology degree, and it's not for everybody. And then I actually lost my dog over the summer,
right?
So that kind of pushed me to want to be a vet, and also just combining animals and being a doctor. I feel like this is something that this is my calling. I can't really explain how or why, but I switched my major in October, so now I'm on track to be a vet.
Nice. And so always an animal lover. Pets at home?
Yeah, actually, we have 2 dogs. We have a boxer, and he is not a year yet. He's really, really bad. He's the worst dog we've ever had. But he's so cute, so it's hard to be mad at him, but he's so naughty. And then we have a Shih Tzu Pomeranian mix, and she's 7, and I love her. She's so cute. She's she's
Nice.
so cute.
Nice. Animal check. You guys, animal lovers, pets at home?
I have a German Shepherd.
Okay.
His name's Coda. He's a big boy. Big boy, but he's super smart, but so stupid at the same time. It's okay. And then I have a bunny. His name's Stitch.
Stitch, the bunny,
Yeah.
here with you on campus, or no? All your
he's at
animals are home. Okay.
Yeah. So I go home tomorrow. I'll see them.
Okay.
Can I jump in real quick?
Absolutely.
You said Stitch is the name, right?
Stitch. Yeah, he kind of looks like Stitch from Lilo.
All right, I was going to say, that's where the question was coming
He has the
from.
spots.
All right, okay. I was going to say, it just kind of ended up working out. How long have you had Stitch? Was it pre-Hawaii?
Yeah, we've had him for a couple years.
It's that invisible string connecting. You were always meant to be an
Always,
HPU
yeah.
Shark. See,
The lines are lining.
Exactly.
Oh, man. What does one do with a bunny? Do you outside for a little free
Yeah, so when we
time?
first got him, we would let him run around the house. He'd get the zoomies, like
Okay.
a dog, you know how they run around.
Yep.
But then during COVID, we actually put a leash on him and walked him out.
Walk the bunny? Does he go for a walk? Is that
It was more like dragging
dragging him?
but we just let him run around. He has a little big cage downstairs,
Okay.
but he doesn't like hardwood floor, so we have to put him on carpet, and he'll run around. But
Wow, well, that's a picky bunny, I have
yeah,
to say.
but he gives little kisses. If you put your face up to it, he'll lick your face. It's so cute. Get a bunny.
Oh, my God. All right, so there you heard it. There's your holiday gift. Give the gift of a bunny. All right, hey, we're going to take a quick commercial break, but we will be back. We're talking softball this morning. I'm your host, Jeff Rich, and you are with Sharks Weekly, and we will be right back.
You're listening to Sharks Weekly on the Hawaii Sports Radio Networks, 95.1 FM and AM 760.
And we are back. You are listening live, as they said, to Sharks Weekly here at the campus of Hawaii Pacific University. And just a reminder that you can catch us live almost every Thursday. I think we're off next week as we begin winter break. But usually you can catch us live on AM 760 and FM 95.1. And of course, you can always visit HawaiiSportsRadio.com and check out Sharks Weekly and listen to our live broadcast there, or catch our streaming, which is now uploaded to YouTube, where you can see all the craziness happening in studio during these broadcasts. But we are talking HPU Softball here with head coach Jarnett Lono. So, Jarnett, you guys are gearing up for the spring. You're getting ready. Looks like you got a really strong team with some great chemistry. What do you expect this season?
We have a 50 game schedule this year, so it's going to be a little challenging for them. We try to max it out every year at about 56, but 50 seems like a good number. With the team that we have, it's a good mix of new blood, new players, transfers, with our returning players and key starters from our team that actually went to the Pac-West Championship last year.
Wow, so 50 games. So what do you guys average a week? 3 games a week? 4 games a week?
Every game that we play is a doubleheader.
Okay.
So in a weekend, we could play 4.
Wow.
During the course of a week, it could be 8 games.
God, you guys must get awful tired. I mean, that is a grinding season. No? When you love what you do, right? Who gets tired? Well, what should we expect this year? When you think about last year's team and how you guys did and what's different this year, what's the expectation?
I think the expectation going into any season is to get to that national championship and win it.
Yep.
So from there, we sort of backward map what our individual and team goals are. So of course the first goal is to win the Pacific West Conference Championship. I think after last year, they know that they can compete and beat our conference foes. So that'll be the first step. Then we head to regionals, super regionals, and make it over to nationals.
Nice. Well, when you think about your Pac West competition, who's on the radar? Who are you gearing up for?
I think we're always the one on everyone else's radar. It seems like we have the target on our back, and it comes with the history that we've built, the tradition, and of course us being the only softball program in the Pac West to win a national championship. So that target is always on our back. But for us, we want aren't the competitive teams like Concordia, like Azusa, like Biola, and we know we're right in the mix with them.
Yep. How do you guys feel on the team? What's the chemistry like this season? Are you feeling, is it going to be a special season? Is this, is the Division II championship within reach?
Yes.
Yes? That's an affirmative yes.
The chemistry this year has been really awesome. I think this is the best gelled team. This is my third year. The chemistry is phenomenal. We've been doing a lot of team bonding this year. That's something that we wanted to focus on.
Yeah, it can be really hard, especially we have a lot of girls from the mainland also, so not having your family on island with you, but the chemistry is so good this year that it honestly just feels like this is my family. I see them every day.
Coach, what do you attribute that to, the building of good chemistry? I imagine it starts with the players that you recruit and bring into the program.
It does start with the recruits. I mean, they have to have a certain personality to fit being on an island. Because, you have a lot of kids who they can only go around the island so many times in a year.
Yep. And
then they get homesick. But for the most part, we look for personalities and fit. Skill is easy to come by, easy to judge, but, that's just part of the process.
Yeah. Well, it seems like you've put the pieces of the puzzle together very well this year. So, you talked about that great team chemistry. What drives that? Do you spend a lot of time, off the diamond and building that chemistry and doing things, team bonding?
Gia's always at my house. So, yeah. She comes over, she eats all our food.
Is that the place to go for the home cooked meal and since you're local?
I do not eat all of the food at Jewel's house. They just have a lot of
just
food,
healthy
and
stuff,
I come over for the birthday parties, and so there's already a lot of
my
food.
family.
Jewel also eats a lot of food too, so more than me.
You guys got to keep the energy level up, right? So it's not how much you eat; it's what you eat. It's the health food, right?
Yes. We also do a lot of we make a point to go to all the other teams' games together, and we'll do beach days as a team, or we do games at practice just to keep the bonding and to just build our trust more and more, I feel like.
What's the go-to beach?
Well, for personally, I like West Side or even North, but we have a lot of girls that live on this side, so we just go to Ala Moana Beach Park. Yeah.
Nice. Surfers on the team, or no? Yes.
Nobody surfs on our team. No.
Wow, that's the first team that I think I've had in where surfing wasn't the dominant activity.
No.
I'm curious, Coach, is that? Are you happy about that? I gotta imagine that especially if nobody is pro surfer out here, I gotta imagine it's dangerous. It has to be nice to hear on your side where it's all right, all my girls are gonna be safe when they're hanging out and having fun together, or at least safe for the most part.
Yeah, I mean, we've had quite a bit of girls who were surfers in the past, but it helps mentally, not having to worry about shoulder and back issues.
Yeah, well, it probably keeps the focus. What else do you do? Do you go to movies? I think we had talked with a team last week, and they, I think bowling was an activity sometimes. But if the chemistry's already there, then you're much further down the road. But keeping it rolling through the season, especially when you get towards the middle end, when it starts to be a bit of a grind, I imagine.
I feel like a lot of us too, if we're the same major, we'll take the same classes. So it's we're in the classroom together too.
Okay.
I know I took a marine biology class, and there was 4 of us. So we sit by each other. So we see each other at class. We have a little break, and then we go to practice. So it's we're always around each other. So I feel that helps. And out of school, if we need help with assignments or work together, we can do that too.
Well, it sounds like not just great chemistry, but just great attitudes and supportiveness of each other that really create something special this year. So, all right, so the bar is set. It's great chemistry. It's great talent. You're the team to beat. So the bar is set high, Jarnett.
It is, and I just want to add, for the current year, we actually did a lot of culture building early on. And I think that helped to set the tone for them to build the team chemistry.
So when you say culture building, you mentioned you have a lot of players from off island this year, so getting them acclimated to Hawaiian culture. What's that like, and what sorts of things are important?
The team culture, for example, the dynamics that they want to see, that they want incorporated into the daily schedule, and then the goal setting as individuals and teams. I mean, those are the things that really built, their bond. And then making certain that we touch base, we go back to those things to remind them of their investment, their commitment, and their dedication to the overall goal.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the things that makes HPU and living in Hawaii special is that that focus on the culture here that's so different than every other place. It really is something special. I think I had a note that you guys did a service project just recently.
Yeah, we did.
Tell us about that.
Chia.
We went to Waimea Valley and we just basically did lawn care on this, was it a burial ground, which was really special because nobody else ever gets to go up there. And so we went up there and we just pulled weeds and we really just pulled weeds, and it looks way better now, but it was awesome. And we had a whole cultural presentation too that was awesome, and it just helps to learn. It's very eye-opening to be here and do these experiences, I feel like.
How'd you guys feel? Was that an exciting opportunity?
Yeah, I thought it was really cool. It's definitely something I've never personally witnessed before, especially being on the mainland. So it was really interesting and also kind of inspiring to see the culture here, and being a part of it is really cool.
Yeah, you feel it immediately when you get here. Is that a regular that service project, or do you do different things each year?
We try to do different things every year, but there's always a connection to the native host, and being a native Hawaiian speaker, we try to make certain that they're exposed to the many different facets of our culture. Yeah, that's all part of exposure to Hawaii and that culture building that is so important. So when you guys think about the team's strengths this year, are you co-equal on pitching and offense, and or is there a real strength this year?
I feel pitching wise we're pretty co-equal. We have a good staff that is very diverse, so we'll be able to throw a lot of teams off when we switch who's pitching in the games, and we all really work hard. All season, all four of us have been coming an hour early before practice to throw a full bullpen and then do practice and conditioning and lift. So
wow, what's the ball get up to speed wise? You guys clocking it?
I haven't been clocked in a really long time, but I think we're all low to mid 60s. I want to say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then change-ups probably around 40 to 45, I would say, which is really good speed difference. So.
Yeah. Ball comes in fast, that's for sure. But strong offensively too. Is it deep ball, or are you guys gonna small ball them? What's the strength on the offensive side?
One of the things that I feel really sets us apart as an offense is that we have girls that'll smash a ball over the fence, but will also put a bunt down and be safe. So you got to just watch and see.
So you change it up a lot, keep the other team off balance.
Yes.
Yeah, that's always good strategy.
I also feel defensively, there's a lot of us that can play a lot of different positions, so we can switch it up a lot. And we do it every practice. We'll just go to different positions so everyone knows the different positions.
Yeah.
So that makes us really strong.
So you got a lot of utility players.
Yeah, you never know who's going to play what.
Well, hey, we're going to take a quick break, but before we do, let me call out a couple of our amazing sponsors. First of all, Sharks Weekly is brought to you in part by Bank of Hawaii. Bank of Hawaii is a proud sponsor of Hawaii Pacific University Athletics and the only local bank ranked as one of America's most trusted companies by Newsweek. Bank of Hawaii, member FDIC, an equal housing lender. Also, we are brought to you by F3 Energy. F3 Energy, fueling physical and mental strength. We are going to take a quick commercial break, but you're listening to Sharks Weekly. I'm your host, Jeff Rich, and we will be right back.
You're listening to Sharks Weekly on the Hawaii Sports Radio Networks, 95.1 FM and AM 760.
And we are back talking women's softball this morning. We've got three amazing student athletes and our head coach, Jarnett Lono. And we've got Gianna Kerschbaum, Jewel Larson, and Savina Molina all talking in studio with us. So let's, before we get back into softball, I want to turn to you, Marcus. And, you are a man on the go all week long, as we were talking about earlier. It is never a dull moment with HPU Sports. And you have been making the rounds, checking in on other teams and seeing what's happening. Give us a summary of the week in review.
Yeah, so our men's basketball team went over to Stan Sheriff Center and played UH, and it was an exhibition for us, but it counted for them. So we literally had nothing to lose going into it. But I feel like it was a win-win scenario for our men's team because we're riding a 5-game win streak. So I mean, we wanted to win obviously, but I feel like that loss really just gives them reignite their spark heading into this tournament this weekend. So really excited to see how they play. Big matchup on Sunday against number 10 San Bernardino. Mm-hmm. And so big test for them. And then the day after, they're playing Lincoln University, and they're led by Gary Payton. And so really cool to see him in the Shark Tank.
Gary Payton.
Yeah, the glove.
It was a supersonic, right? Baby.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then they have a rematch against Alaska Anchorage. And so just back-to-back games for them. And so it's going to be a fun time to be in the Shark Tank. I get to just be there, as I just had. Yep. So it'll be a fun time for me to watch it. But
you mentioned that they had a run of 5 wins, I think, straight. And what's special about the team this year?
What's special about the team is that all those wins, they had to just gut them out. I think the biggest margin of victory so far in that span was like 5 points.
Wow.
And so
learning how to win the close ones.
Yeah. And so I feel like what's really cool about that team is with like soccer, you see how people from different areas have a different interpretation of the game. And so it's really cool to see like Melo Sanchez, you can see the Southern California I get the ball, I'll shoot with conviction. He doesn't care where he is or how much we're down by or how much we're up ahead. He just shoots with conviction. I really like that about him. And then Josh Nusilu and Diggy Winbush, both Bay Area JUCO products. And as a Bay Area native, it makes me happy to see them hoop, and just the way they play. It's just the Bay Area, just the grit and just the 9 to 5.
Yeah.
It's not always pretty, but they get the job done. And so,
nice. Well, for our listeners, if you haven't checked out HPU basketball, men's basketball and women's, come and check out the teams. We've got great seasons here. So, what else did you see this week as you made the way around athletics?
Yeah, I saw women's basketball getting ready for their matchup next Tuesday against Carroll College, and that's a monster of a team. They're number 4 in NAIA, and so it's gonna be a good matchup down at the Shark Tank. And I also saw, me and Jarnett saw the Christmas party yesterday. I came away with an Amazon Echo Dot, so really proud of myself for that.
I got a bullseye game.
I actually wanted that, but no one would take my gift. I was really trying hard to sell that Amazon Echo Dot, but no one got. I really felt bad for Coach Knack. He had a lot of good prizes, and he came out with I think it was shortbread cookies and stuff.
Oh man, was this how'd you do? Was it a white elephant?
It was a white elephant. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
So you got to do a little exchanging of gifts. But,
yeah, it was a $25 limit, but I think some coaches went a little bit above. So I'm not gonna hate, but
wow.
But yeah.
Well, our marketing teams, we're doing ours on Monday, and I think we had a $10 limit, so we'd have to raise that a little bit. It sounds like with inflation, right?
Yeah. $10.
$10. What can you get for $10 these days, right?
But really excited for softball season. Definitely have a love-hate relationship with softball. I love.
What would you hate about it? Wait a minute here.
Okay, let me explain the hate. So I pride my college career at APU. Never got hurt in my life. Even when I was hurt, I would just thug that thing out. But I was an athletic trainer's worst nightmare. But so I graduate, right? I go work at the A's, and in the middle of the season, they're like, "Hey, we're having this company softball tournament, right?" I'm like, you know what? I played a little bit of ball back in middle school. I watched Crystal Rosenthal at Concordia take BP. I think I can hold my own, And so I go up, just basic, swing mechanics. I take that first swing,
just blew by you, right?
Dude, it was soft toss. It was nothing even crazy. Every athletic ability that I had just went out the window in the swing. I was like, oh my gosh. Okay, I was like, maybe that was just a fluke. It's been years since I swung a bat, and so I'm like, all right, I'm gonna nuke this next one. I swing. I probably almost tore my shoulder. Oh my god. And so I'm like, you know what? I'm not about to strike out in the company softball game. And so I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna Ichiro, just swing for contact. I essentially just bunted it, right? And so I got it, right? I got a tip of it. And so I'm like, okay, you know what? Time to show that APU track speed. And I'm running, blistering down the line, and
all 60 feet, right?
All 60 feet, yeah. just hauling. And I just step on the base awkwardly. I tear my meniscus.
Oh my God!
And, like,
just hitting the base. That's all it did.
Yeah, and I felt it. And I'm like, you know what? I can't be that guy that just like that goes down at like. No, I'm like I'm 23. I'm still young. I can't do this. And so I'm sitting in the outfield. And I'm like, I just got to play it off. Like I can definitely feel like something's not good. And so I'm in the outfield. And I'm like, because you get to choose your position every inning. I'm like, I'm just going to go play right field. No one's going to hit it to me. There's I'll be fine. And of course, 3 straight balls just fly over my head. Like Marcus, what are you doing? And I'm just like, just trying my best. And so that day forward,
Wow, so you actually tore it though. You had to have surgery and.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That, boy, oh boy.
I can see the love-hate.
I was going to say, I'll give you a pass for the love-hate in a sense. Especially because you said love first.
Yeah. So I love it. And just sometimes
we'll call it a love-strained relationship.
Yeah.
Because we don't want to hate things.
Yeah, no, yeah.
So, wow. So that was your one and only sports injury, huh?
Yeah, that was probably like the most like serious one I ever got. Yeah.
Did you guys ever have any, big injury that you had to come back from and work your way through?
I had labrum surgery my freshman year of college. It was really challenging, but I had a really good support system. Coach Shorty and the rest of the girls were very encouraging during that time.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you made it scot-free, no season-ending serious injuries?
Jewel's a different animal, though, because Jewel will work her butt off in the gym and also work with her PT folks to make certain that she's not just back 100%, but it's like 110%.
Yeah. See, there you go. That's the attitude. That'll push you through injuries. But boy, they do happen. It's the freak injuries, right? Sometimes you just can't stretch enough.
I mean, I didn't have to get any surgery or anything, but I almost tore like the ligament in my elbow. So my freshman year, I got hurt like right at preseason.
Okay.
So I didn't play my freshman year. But
so you got
I just did,
Okay.
But I just did like PT and stuff, but it wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
Now I'm good. Ready to go.
There you go. A lot of athletes too. I mean, with the adrenaline flowing in the games, it's easy to underestimate your injury and go back out there and play and make it worse.
I estimated it probably already. Yeah, I was hurting out there.
You still went out there though.
I think my pride hurt more than my knee, but yeah, definitely was hurting out there.
Coach, I'm just curious in your career, because obviously you played and whatnot, but in your coaching career, have you changed your viewpoint on injury prevention at all? Like, as you've gone through preseason after preseason, have you prepared your teams differently and seen different results? And what have you seen that's been best for you guys so far?
I have changed over the course of the last, I think, 10 years, and even in the last 5 years. Before, it was all or nothing. You arrive, we're going to kill you, we're going to make you run, make you hurt, we'll see who's the weakest one, and if you're the weak one, then you didn't do enough to get here. So that's changed, I think, significantly for me, and working with the different athletic trainers that we have on staff and trying to be more preventative and add strength and add like long-term things that will help them develop over the course of not just the fall through the winter, but even during the spring.
Gotcha. I was just curious because I feel like with a lot of young coaches, that's like the case early on. That's the case early on, especially where they're going, and then you start to see that adjustment. I saw you kind of making a face over there. How have you seen the changes in your 3 years here in your preseason and off-season work, trying to get ready for season, and even in season when it comes to injury stuff?
Well, my freshman year, fall, oh man, I thought I was going to die every day. Shorty killed us every single day. But this year, she killed us, but she changed a lot because, like, before practice, we make sure we're stretching more. We do different stretches now. We do a lot of band work, shoulder work, and then even after practice, we're making sure that, like, we're stretching, warming down, and we really emphasize going to see the trainer a lot this year.
Nice. I found a secret weapon for stretching and getting limber, and especially at my age where you definitely need it. But have you guys ever tried hot yoga?
Ooh, yeah.
I would highly recommend. If you like yoga, that's great because it's stretching. But boy, in a room like 105 degrees, and first of all, you just sweat all the toxins out of your system. It'll be like you jumped in a pool. But man, your ability to really stretch and push your body, a lot further in that heated room is just remarkable. So, Marcus, you hot yoga experience or no?
No, I mean, I can stretch at Ala Moana. I count that as hot yoga.
Been there, done that, Jeff.
Yeah, sweaty all day there, but.
Very true. But you don't hear about teams. I remember a story, the NFL, and way back when they had the 49ers do ballet practice to work
Jerry
on.
Rice.
Yes, and he became very focused on that as a training method.
Yeah, there's different sciences behind all the small muscles and the fast twitch muscles from the toes all the way up to the fingertips. So it was very, very beneficial for the Niners back in the day.
Yep, and something completely different. All right, well, hey, we are going to take another break, our last break of today's show, and then we're going to come back and we're going to check back in with Mr. Marcus DeWall and see what's coming up in the week ahead here. As we said, even though we've got a holiday break coming up, it's no rest for HPU Athletics, so we'll get a little sneak peek at what to expect in the coming week. I'm your host, Jeff Rich. You're listening to Sharks Weekly, and we will be right back.
You're listening to Sharks Weekly on the Hawai'i Sports Radio Networks, 95.1 FM and AM 760.
And we're broadcasting live from the amazing, beautiful Hawaii Pacific University on the campus here at Aloha Tower Marketplace on the beautiful island of Oahu in the wonderful, amazing, best state in the country, Hawaii. And so, absolutely, I think we would all attest to that. So anybody listening out there that is not on the island and is thinking about an amazing school to go to or an amazing place to come and live, don't come here because we like it. We like it less populated, right? No, I'm kidding. Come here. It's an amazing life experience. And I moved here about a year and a half ago from the East Coast and absolutely love living out here. I can't imagine living anywhere else. Well, hey, this is the time on our show when we have a little look ahead at what's happening here as we head into the winter break. As I mentioned, even though things will start to get quiet next week as people head out officially for winter break, faculty, staff, and students, they'll still be a heck of a lot happening in athletics. So tell us what's going on, Marcus.
Yeah, so like I said, we got the Hoops in Hawaii Classic. But over the winter break, not a lot of competition-wise. It's mostly just women's and men's basketball in the Bay Area. And so I'll actually be back home for that. And so I'll
go back to San Fran area?
Yeah, so I live in Brentwood, California. Yeah. I have to clarify, a lot of people, Brentwood, where I live, is not the same as OJ Brentwood. Yeah, so two different things. And so sometimes I just say Antioch to make it easier. But so I live in Brentwood, and so really excited to just be back home, and then also just see our teams play in stadiums I'm familiar with growing up, and so it's gonna always be a fun time, and it's gonna be weird going back home representing Hawaii, and so. Funny story about the Bay. So there's only one LNL in the Bay Area, right? And so before
I'm surprised there's any.
Yeah, well. So here's the thing. Before I moved here, so I used to DoorDash on my off days at the A's, and then so I'd always DoorDash from LNL. And I was under the impression that L&L was this one little mom and pop shop in the Bay Area. I thought it was their own thing. And so when I came here, I was like, yeah, you guys ever heard of L&L back in the Bay Area? And they're like, what are you talking about? It's there's one on every corner. And so I was so distraught. I thought I was in the know. I thought I was with it, but apparently it's just it's like McDonald's here. So
I think all the menus are different at L&L's too, right? It's not the same menu because they have. You guys are talking about Ala Moana Beach. It's my favorite meal is the $4.45 mahi sandwich at L&L over at Ala Moana. But I don't think they have that at every single one. They think they have a little different menu.
No, maybe they do, but yeah, I thought it was just our thing, but yeah. But you live and learn. But excited to be back. Excited to see all our teams play at Dominican, and not really excited for Academy of Art, but I'm gonna be there for that. But it's an interesting gym, but excited for that. But yeah, it's gonna be a fun break, and then everything picks up January, and then February. Oh my gosh,
it's gonna be a crazy.
Me and Eli took a look at that. We're doing Sudoku to make that schedule work. Oh my gosh, but
Sudoku.
But It's gonna be fun. I feel like you have a lot of teams. With Coach Dan in baseball, Coach Jarnett with softball, and then both our basketball teams. I feel like they're all heading in great directions, and so I feel like it's been so much fun to cover them all, and so much fun to be at their games this season.
Yeah, you can definitely feel the momentum behind HPU athletics and the spirit of achievement and great camaraderie, and it's driven first and foremost by our amazing coaches in all of our sports. So thank you for all you're doing to help contribute to that, Jarnett. You guys mentioned earlier that the chemistry is great, and you as a team get out and support other HPU sports. Tell us a little bit about maybe some of your excursions to watch other programs in action.
We just went to men and women's basketball Monday? And then we went to men and women's soccer in October. And we also went to women's volleyball in October. So we're trying to make it to everybody's. But once we hit the spring, we will not be at any games. We will be at our games.
Wow, I'm sure the other teams appreciate that kind of support.
Yeah, I mean, they're the type of kids, they're not just going to sit there and just watch. They're the ones who are a little rowdy, cheering them on and kind of edging the other team as well.
Wow. Paul, are you going to hit anything in the little time you've got around over the holidays?
See, Jeff, all I do is hit these HPU sports. I am amongst the biggest Shark fans you'll find. I have all the coverage on my Twitter. I'll always have it for us on HSRN, and even when I'm not working for the radio station, I always like to stop by, just because, like Marcus was saying, there are so many programs at HPU that are just moving in the appropriate and good directions where it's a fun time. I mean, we just heard the players talk about, I guess Coach kind of putting them on blast and saying how they're nice and rowdy and they like to be amongst the actual student section, and those type of things. That's how you get support back at your games. At least, I've talked about it before. I went to a Division III school for college, and that's how you got crowds. Was you went and you supported the other programs, and they kind of did the same thing right back. And if you're especially rowdy, well, then they kind of do the same thing. And when you're good, like this softball team is, there's going to be a lot of opportunities for these other HPU athletic teams to be rowdy in the crowd and watch them as they take down the rest of the Pac West.
Yep, definitely part of what's special here about HPU is that support that you feel all through the university, and particularly in athletics. Well, all right, so do you guys have any superstitions? We talk a lot about that in sports with the different teams that come on, and I am always curious to hear interesting superstitions. So anything that comes to mind that you or any of your teammates might do?
Me personally, I have to look good in the mirror. If I don't look good and I don't feel good, I feel like I'm not going to play good. So look good, feel good, play good.
Now that was a quote by, what was that, Billy Crystal's Saturday Night Live character. What was his name? So it's better to look good than to feel good. And then you play good, right? God, what was I? Nobody, that's way before everybody's time, right?
I don't remember that one.
I was going to say, you're reaching out of my box of horrors. In this.
Well, you'll have to YouTube that, because there's definitely some fun segments from Billy Crystal back in his days on Saturday Night Live. Superstition?
I have to put my sliders on first before anything.
Sliders?
Sliders, yeah. They go underneath your softball pants.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
It's like spandex.
Okay.
But I wear padding because I rip up my legs. And then I think I might bring this one back. I didn't do it at my old school, but I used to wear bows or ribbon in my hair.
A different one, or was there one special one?
No, I think it was, for bows, they're different. But ribbon, I'd keep the same one until it gets all raggedy.
Okay.
Then I'd get a new one. But I'm going to bring it back this year.
Oh, all right. We got one. All right, hit us with your superstition.
I honestly don't have any. I used to have a lot when I was younger, but as I got older, I just don't know. Me and Jewel will pray before games, but that's about it. That's my biggest superstition.
Well, that's got to make it easier, though. You can just roll into each game and, different routine each time. But, every athlete, though, at some point, you do something a little different, and then you have a great game or a big win, and then you kind of think, that was it. It was that T-shirt under my jersey or whatever it might be.
I just thought of one I actually do have. I don't know why, but I have to wear a rubber band on my glove hand wrist, or I feel like I'm not going to have good defense. I think I started doing that last year. But if I don't have a rubber band on my wrist, I oh my gosh, I'm not gonna play good. I don't know why.
Okay, Jeff, I just want to shout out the rest of the team members. Our only senior, Hoku Ching, also a local kid, come out and support her. Then we got Taylor, Ari, Neva. Our freshman, Layla. Go to our website, check out the roster.
How many freshmen do you have?
We've got 3 freshmen. Trinity, Kanani, 4, and Jade.
Is that about how many you normally have, or a younger team, or just this is average for you?
Average,
Okay.
3 to 4.
Well, that means that you've got an amazing team this year, and you've got great talent to come back next year. So we should expect sustained excellence, right, Coach?
I love that, yes.
Nice. Well, hey, I want to thank everybody for listening. And as I mentioned, we are going to be on break next week, but you can catch an amazing rebroadcast of a prior show. So I want to wish everybody a happy holiday, a safe winter break. Go see your loved ones, recharge your battery, and come back ready to go as we roll into the spring term here at HPU. I'm your host, Jeff Rich. I want to thank HPU Women's Softball for joining us this morning, and our amazing in-studio co-host, Mr. Marcus DeWall and Mr. Paul Breck. Everybody, be safe, and we will see you in a couple of weeks.
Mele kalikimaka, haoli makahiki ho.
You've been listening to the Hawaii Sports Radio Network's special presentation of Sharks Weekly.